Good morning, everyone. 10 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. It's Friday, October 9th, 2020. I'm going to be taking a look at the ES charts. I'm going to take a look at NQ a little bit. I also want to, of course, take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at Ethereum a little bit. Kind of go through those. Been some pretty interesting times over the last last few days here. So I do want to take a look at the S&P first, and then I want to take a look at Nasdaq. Then we'll go to the cryptos. If there's anything in particular you want me to take a look at, yeah, just go ahead and throw it in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to it there at the very end. But before I get into this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and this is just my opinion on the market. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the chart. So I shared this with the server last night. I made some updates. Basically, what I think we've completed here is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, and we have a little bit of an expanded flat here into the 2. This it works really well. So I want to dive into this and just talk about why this why this works as an expanded flat. All right. So we'll take a fib pull on this guy, pull him down here. And let's put the 1382 on here. So let's change this from the 1.236 to the 1.382. All right, and that didn't, oh, I need to do it as a positive. 1.382. So we came up here to the 382, the 1382 extension. It came out here perfectly. All right, so let's just look at this. It popped up. I mean, it tagged it perfectly. This is where fib is, it's almost like a crystal ball in front of you. So we have our top here, which we counted as our 5. We came down, that's our pivot low, and for an expanded flat, you go up here to the 1382, and we went right to it. Then your downside target should be a 100% equality from wave A projected from the end of wave B. And what happened? So let's just tag it the top right here. Came down to the bottom, and let's go up here to the top. There we go. We came down to the 100. So it works as an expanded flat. The rules fit perfectly with an Elliott wave expanded flat. Nice channel in here as well. If you were to throw a channel on this, I mean, we had the same thing. I don't know how perfect it is, but from there we went to the bottom. Hey, you can pull this out. We didn't quite get to the bottom, but but it works. It works. It works very well. This is why I favor this count. I favor it. I think this is really perfect, right? So we've got a 1 and expanded flat into a 2. Now we go up for wave 3, which we should be seeing an aggressive move to the upside. Now we're chopping a little bit right now. That's okay. That's okay. I actually do expect we're going to do a pullback and retest this level here at about 34.25. But until that happens, I think that we're just going to continue grinding up a little bit. This move right here, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds on it, but I think this move is getting close to being finished. I think it maybe has a couple hours left on it before we do some kind of a pullback. Wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to pull back to this yellow diagonal that we've got here. It would make a whole lot of sense, right? So we've got a 1, 2, and then what we should be seeing is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get ourselves up into this 3, which currently we're targeting up here at about 3,700. But we can always use our trend-based fib extension tool, measure wave 1, project it from the bottom of wave 2. That 175 is right there at 36.94. Probably is going to come out further, right? So we're gonna take this guy out a ways, right? Because this isn't going to happen quick. We're talking this could have a week or two before we finally get there. Maybe it happens quicker than that, but we'll give it some time. We do a pullback. Maybe we do a pullback. Look left, retesting some of these all-time highs that we had in September, and then we move up higher, which our upside target is going to be sitting. We've been talking about this also, getting close to 4,000. getting close to 4,000. Maybe we get there, maybe we get a front run and we fall before we get there, but this is where I think we're probably going to be heading, and it could be that this does not happen by election time. It could be that this goes out further past election time. We're going to have to wait and see. If we take a look at the trajectory here, right, if you take a look at the angle and the slope of this, it's not happening fast. This is taking time. What does that mean? That means options are not ideal. Options are not ideal. Equity is your better play on this. Maybe selling some options, that could work out for you. Be careful with that. But I think that options, with the lack of volatility, right? The volatility is to the downside. But in order to catch that, you've got to time it right. And, it's just not for me right now. We did try a hedge. Right, we tried a hedge here. That failed. That's okay. We lost about 2% of that trade. It was a hedge. Equity positions are way up, though. So let's take a look at NASDAQ. All right, I want to focus on NASDAQ here for a moment, and I want to see where we could be heading on this, because I have, and I hope this is helpful for you guys, I have an idea for what's happening here. And so I was looking at this the other day. I believe now this is a 1, and I do believe that this is a 2. And then from there, I'm going to remove some of the things that we have here on lower degrees, and I'm going to remove this because I want to talk through what I think is potentially happening here. So we've got our 1, 2, and then we've got a 1, 2, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. So this works. We have an A, B, C here into the 4. Actually, I still struggle with this. I still think this actually could be the 3, 4, and then the 5 would be right here. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm struggling with this. As you all know, I do all of this in real time, so I'm kind of looking at this kind of at the same time as you guys are looking through this. So if that's the 1 and this is the 2, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into this 3. That works. That works out. And then we've got the 4 here, and then we work on the 5. Yeah, I'm going to say that this is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 5 right here. And I think what this actually is, based on what I'm looking at, I think this is actually a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're working on the 5. We're working on the 5 now. So yeah, I'm going to need to spend a little bit more time on this just because of this choppiness right here. Remember we were talking about this being a head and shoulders. I need to spend a little bit more time going through this. I do think that we are going to see higher prices. I think we're going to see potentially move up to 11.7, which is, it's pretty close to being completed before we do a little bit of a pullback, right? So if we go up to 11.7, come down here from the bottom here, we go up to potentially 11.7. I think it's very possible we come back down here to 11.4. To 11.4. Yeah, I need to spend some time on this, but I think we're probably going to move up here to 11.7 just based on what I'm seeing here. Looking left as well, some consolidation over here. I think in this range we're probably going to get a pullback. So right now this is what I think is going to happen with NASDAQ. So apologies, I guess this is one of the flaws from doing things or doing things in real time and not planning ahead, because I don't like to, I don't like to have things planned out like this for you guys. I like for you to see it at the same time that I do. So ultimately, I do think we're working on this last move, and then we do see a little bit of a pullback to 11.4, and then we can see that move up higher, which we've been talking about 12.150, 12.2. I still think that happens. I'm going to spend a little bit of time today working on this. I'll get the update out to the Discord a little later, because I do want to, I want to work this out, and I want to make it so that it looks good for that bull case. And I think that we do have a bull case here for this to occur potentially this wave 3 coming up here, and then we get the wave 4, which means that wave 5 is going to be up here, and wave 4 here, so then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get up here. Something along these lines I think is what's happening. Because of this violation here, this can't be the 3, the 4 of this degree because we are violating wave 1. So I believe that we are actually on a bigger count moving up and out of here. Then we get the wave 4 potentially coming back down before we get that last move to take us up to, you know, almost 13K. So that's what I think is likely going to be happening here. So I'll spend a little bit of time working on that. So let's go ahead and move over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been pretty bullish here. Bitcoin has moved up and out. It's moved up and out of this wedge. We consolidated above it. We didn't pull back into it. In fact, we moved up, and now we're approaching a significant resistance. We got our bullish break up here. So we've been talking about this. I'm going to look to catch a pullback. I think that potentially we do get a pullback down here. You know, as far as the count goes, this obviously was not a wedge, and we did have a 1 and then potentially an A, B, C. This was likely the C back here based on what this is looking like right now, which means that the 2 would be down here. I'll probably need to spend a little bit of time with this as well, just because it's not really clean. But what this does mean then is if we are in a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? If this is what we're looking at, so from down here, if this is a 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then we get the 3, 4, 5, right? And then from down here, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This works. It works quite nice, actually. So this would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here into another 1, getting into this wave 3. So this looks pretty bullish. So this would be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into this 3. So we should be seeing a few pullbacks along the way. Let me change the color on these so that they look a little more clear on this. So we've had 5 waves up. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that looks like that finishes this move, which means we should get a little bit of a pullback. Pullback maybe to the 50 from this move right here, right there, up here. Assuming that is the top, we should get a pullback to 10.8. 10.8. Which would basically confirm this as support. We had a move back to like 10.850 earlier, so a move down to 10.8, and I've got this very, very, you know, close together. This is going to take, you know, go out a little bit further, but you guys kind of get the idea. I think we've completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. So this is wave 1 of wave 3. So we do a pullback, then we go up for 3, 4, 5, which, you know, we'll kind of see where this is going to go. But our algo target to the upside on a 1, 2, we're going to have this, this 1618 to 175. This is going to be up here at 11.2 to 11.3. And then we have our upside target looking for a move up to about 11.7. Ultimately, this is looking bullish. So that's my initial thoughts on this right now. If we take a look at Ethereum, let's see here. This is not the chart that I wanted to look at. I think it's the one on BitMEX. You know, we've been talking about this. You can see we've got, you know, targets up here higher. Again, we had a similar count on this, which obviously is not correct. So this being the 2 down here, we came down to the 618. We did it twice. This was at right around 330, right? We were talking about a bounce there. We took a long. I got out of that long foolishly, as you are all fully aware. You know, I let you guys all know that I got out of this trade too early. That's okay. It happens. Am I upset about it? Sure. Is there going to be another trade? Absolutely. Again, we're probably going to get a pullback. If we go from the bottom here and take this guy up here to where we are potentially topping out, we'll see. I'll move back down here to maybe 350 before we get this bigger move up. So still looks pretty bullish right now. Maybe we continue seeing higher prices, but we will get a pullback, and I'll be looking to buy pullbacks. We will get a pullback. We haven't really moved. I mean, look at where we were and look at where we are now. So we'll get a pullback. There's no doubt in my mind. But this being a 1 2 1 2, pretty bullish, pretty bullish. So to be sitting in spot is probably wise. I do have spot exposure, and so I'm okay there. I was happy for a leverage position here. I did take a little bit of profit, which those profits I'm probably going to be giving those back to the market because I did take a little bit of a short. Probably be going to be getting out of that short on that pullback. So ultimately, much higher prices coming for Ethereum in my estimation. That idea is invalidated on a break of about 330. Right, so about 332, somewhere in that range, that is where this idea is invalidated. Originally, we were expecting this to come lower. Now at this point, I'm expecting the 618 to hold. And if that is the case, I really want to clean this up because there's just a lot on here. So let's just clean this up real quick. All right, so we've got the A, B, C, or let's remove this. A, B, C right here. Okay. And get rid of this. Well, we'll leave the channel in there because technically we're still inside the channel. But let's put a pitchfork on here and let's see what we've got to contend with from this too. Right. Let's try and get this right. 1 up here, and then we pull back to the 2, which is going to be right there. Okay. Let's just zoom in here. I want to get this pegged perfectly. There we go. All right, and just for the record, I haven't seen anything in the YouTube chat, so I've got nothing to look at for you guys. If this is the case, yeah, I can definitely see us making our way up to maybe 380, 380 potentially, not for wave 3, but for at least a good move to complete this. If we change this to a modified shift, we tag the median perfectly right there, so this would be a good area for there to be some resistance, and then a pullback. Again, moving our way back to at least for the 25% on this pitchfork, taking us down here. Our normal pitchfork, we've got much higher prices to go. Gravity, or at least the opposite of gravity, looks like it does want us to go. It does want us to go higher. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see higher prices, just based on all of this, all of these different factors. I think that we will get up there. I think it's still going to be a really great quarter 4. So I'm looking for dips to buy at this point because I do think that we've got a validation of a 1 2 1 2 count. And yes, we have moved up 8% from this bottom. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get a little bit of a pullback, but what we're really looking for is this move 15%, maybe more. That's what we're really going to be looking for on a pullback to potentially 350. All right, that's I think all I've got for you right now. We only spent about 20 minutes this morning, so not a whole lot. But of course, if you do have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. Do my best to answer those questions for you. And of course, if you want access to our Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be doing my best to get get an invite code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everybody.